Hi All Stars, and welcome to another edition of Stay at Home Blues and Oranges, brought to you by After School All Stars Hawaii. My name is Miss Terry, and I'm the site coordinator for Ke'au Middle School. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notifications so you don't miss any of our episodes. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. For today's activity, I'm going to show you how you can turn something that you're going to throw away into something you can reuse using just simple materials that you have at home. For today's activity, you're going to be using some t-shirts that you can't use anymore and you're going to discard anyway, some pens, a scissors, and just a piece of cardboard that I cut into a square. If you don't have thick cardboard like this, you can also use something like a cereal box or any kind of thick stock paper. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your cardboard and you're going to look for something that is a circle. It can be anything as long as it's at least 4 inches in diameter. So it can be like a canned good, it can be like a cover for something, it can be a bowl. For today, I'm just going to use a bowl, and you're going to just place it onto your cardboard, and using your pen, you're just going to trace the outline around the bowl. And you should just end up with a circle. The next step after you have your circle outline is to take your scissors and you're going to cut around the outline so you have a completed circle. So at this part, All Stars, I'm going to have to remind you to please be careful when using scissors. Make sure you know where your fingers are at all times, and just take your time through this process. And if you're not comfortable using a pair of scissors or cutting the cardboard, because it is a little bit harder than cutting paper, you can always ask for an adult's help. So just continue to cut, taking your time and just being careful. Until you have your completed circle. At this point, you want to find a straight edge. I was lucky I found a ruler, but if you don't, you can always fold a piece of paper, anything that's going to give you a straight edge. You're going to find the middle of your circle, and taking your pen, you're going to draw a line straight down the middle. And you're going to turn it, find the middle again, just kind of eyeball it. It doesn't have to be exact. Almost like cutting a pie. And you should end up with something like this. And then that way you can see where the middle of it is too for the next step that we're going to do. This next step, you're going to take your scissors, and on these lines that you drew, you're going to cut in just about ½ an inch all the way across on each line. And after you've done that, put something down just so you don't stab the table. And taking your scissors, the tip of your scissors, you're gonna find the middle again. And what you want to do is make a hole right in that center. So this is what your circle should look like now. Now this next step is optional. I do it because it's easier for me to see where the cuts on the edges are. So I just take like a Sharpie and I just darken the edges where I know the string is going to go in. So that way it's just easier for me to find it. But you don't have to do this part. It just helps. It helps me. this part is optional. It's up to you if you want to do it like that, or if you don't need the dark lines around the edges, then you can just leave it with just a pen. The next step you're going to take is, after you completed your circle, you can put this on the side. I'm going to show you how to turn this old shirt into strips that you can use for your weaving. So you take your shirt and making sure that you got permission to cut up your shirts. You're just gonna cut along the seams. And the reason why you want to cut the seams off is because it'll just be a cleaner string without the seams on it. And the seams are just where the sewing is. So you can cut that part off. You're gonna take your shirt and you're going to cut maybe about an inch or an inch and a half per strip. And just take your time, and as always, just be careful using your scissors. And then you're gonna end up with a strip like this. Cut into a long strip, and the way you make it into thin, like a thin strip like this, is you just pull it, and you just work your way down the whole strip of t-shirt. And you just keep working it until it's a thin strip that you can work with. And if you see frays like this, you just take your scissors and you just cut it. At this point, you have a strip like this, which is depending on what your project is going to be. If you're making, say, like a necklace or a headband or anything like that, you might want to leave it long like this. But because I'm only going to be making a bracelet for my wrist, I'm only going to need this is maybe about 12 inches of shirt strip. So at this point, I'm just going to continue making strips. And then when we come back, I'm going to show you how to start your braid. At this point, I just wanted to give you another view of that frayed edges that I was talking about. So as you're pulling your t-shirt strip, if you see a fray like this, just take your scissors and just trim it off. Like how I have this one here, you just give it a trim and then pull it. And you're just going to continue pulling it until you have that nice clean length that you want. At this point, you want to take your 7 strands, and I think I told you earlier 12 inches, but it just depends on the size of your wrist and what project you're going to make. Over here, I actually have about 2 feet each strand. So you take all your strands and you put them together. It doesn't matter, where it ends up. Just what you want to do is just take them all and tie them into one big knot so they're all together. So this is what you're going to end up with, and this is the start of your project. So make the knot as tight as you can. And then I'm going to change the angle on the camera real quick so I can show you how to thread it through your circle. Our next step, as you can see, this is my knot, is on the other end. You're going to take your disc and you're going to flip it over so it's not the side where you made your marks, so you can see. it's the opposite side, and you take the edges and you're gonna put it or thread it through that little hook in the middle. And if you're having a hard time, you can make your hole in the middle just a little bit bigger, or you can use like a pen or a chopstick or anything you have and just help guide it through so you can reach the other end and just put it through. And then you want to pull all of them through. So this is what your knot's going to be on the bottom part of your disc. If you flip it over, your strands will be on this side. Okay, at this point, this is your next step. You're going to take each thread and you're going to put them into the grooves that you created. And I'm just doing it at random. I'm not even picking which color I want or whatever. It's just whatever is there. So this is the start that you're gonna start with. So this is what it's gonna look like. Kind of like a jellyfish without the top. Okay guys, for our next step, what you wanna do is after you have your disc threaded, the empty slots should always be at the very top. So to start with, you're gonna count down 1, 2, and 3, and that third one, you're gonna just take it off and put it at the top. And then spin your disc so that empty slot is at the top again. Count 3 again. And thread it to the top. Then you go back, make sure this is always at the very top. Take your third one and put it at the top. Spin your disc. Third one, put it at the top. And you're just going to continue doing that over and over. And it looks a little weird right now, but eventually what's going to happen is, if you look at the bottom, give it a pull, you're going to see the start of your braid. Okay guys, at this point I'm just going to continue working. Okay guys, last step. Because this one came out so cool and I really like the pattern, I'm gonna actually turn this into a key ring that I want to use on my car keys. So I'm just gonna take a key ring and just put it through here, and then I can hang my keys on it. But if you don't have anything, or if you just want a bracelet, what you can do is I'll take this previous one that I made and I'll show you how you can do it without using anything. So you just make an opening, and with your knot, you're just going to put it through. And then you have your bracelet. There you go. Ta-da! Thank you for being part of our All-Stars Ohana. Don't forget to share this video and leave us a comment and tell us what you like and what you want to see next. Until then, take care, All-Stars. Stay safe, stay healthy. Aloha.